About to storm here. All right. Hello. Welcome to Plots and Politics. My name is Corinne Straight. I am here with Sarah Blessing. We are a couple of millennial women, and this is probably going to come as quite a shocker to y'all that we have grown up and have carried with us some body image issues from the 90s and 2000s. I know this is a shocking revelation, right? And Sarah and I have talked about body image. We have talked about our relationship to exercise and mental health and our bodies and being grown women now and what that has kind of done to us mentally and the work that we have done over many, many years to treat ourselves with a little more kindness and appreciate what our bodies can do. And as a couple of ladies in our 40s, we just wanted to talk about it. So welcome, Sarah Blessing. I'm so glad you're here.
I have missed you. We haven't done a show in gazillions of
I
years,
know
it
it
feels
feels like
like.
forever, but yeah, we
Yes.
are here and we are ready to talk all about body image issues.
Yeah, I have a few. I have some
Yeah,
thoughts. Yeah, I
same.
was born in 1980, and the first thing I want to say is just the culture of Hollywood that I was exposed to. I watched a lot of movies, I watched a lot of TV shows, and I didn't say it. I didn't say it aloud, but I was like, "Oh, if I need to catch a man, to get married, I need to be skinny." That's
Hmm.
really important. I mean, look at all these women who are side characters in the man's story on the movies. And you gotta be attractive and skinny and meek and all the other things you're supposed to be to get that man, and so
Yep.
that he will take care of you, and you have his children.
And he won't
So
leave you
and
because
hopefully
if
he
you,
won't leave me and I'll
yep.
stay skinny. Yeah, so it wasn't like they said that explicitly. It was just of hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours of watching our culture and what was expected of women. I was like, "Oh, I'm figuring this out. I should be skinny
Yeah.
to get a man."
Yes. Same. And I remember one of the early kind of things that got into my head was hearing different women talk about another woman who had let themselves go.
Oh yeah, let themselves
Right?
go. Yeah,
She
yeah,
let
yeah.
herself go. She let herself go. Oh, look what she's done. Of course he cheated on her. She let herself go. And that was very internalized to me.
Same.
I That was my biggest fear. Did people warn you about the freshman 15 when you went away to
Oh,
college?
I mean, it was a real thing. I
It
heard
was
it I heard
Yeah.
it like hundreds and hundreds of times. And I did legit gain 15 pounds when I went to Bloomington my freshman year.
And do you know why we do that?
Well, well, I thought, and I think part of it was this. This was before I started working out. I thought it was because I was eating much fattier foods at Bloomington, and I do think that was part of it. I had a meal plan. I didn't know how to get. I wasn't like I didn't know how to get the right foods that didn't have. I was getting like grilled cheeses and stuff with a lot of fat in them and high caloric food.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I got it.
And
Um,
I think that was the message that we were supposed to take away as young women going off to college. But there has been really interesting, scientific data that has come out about women's life cycles, and between the ages of like 16 and 24, I think women start to gain more fat around their middles and their reproductive organs for protection. And so
so we can
that
have children.
Yes. And so it's a very natural thing that happens for women when they are at that age. And because we never understood that, because nobody knew, because the flip side of this is that the men do it too. It
Yeah.
happens to boys too. If y'all look at boys, and I'm saying boys, I mean, they are young men, but 18, 19, 20, 21, when they start to, their metabolism starts to slow just a tiny little bit, and the testosterone is going, they are bulking up with muscle and with fat. But it's never seen as a bad thing for them. It's seen as them becoming a man, right?
Right.
But for
Right.
us,
We're
we're supposed
warned.
to look
Watch
exactly the
out.
same
Watch
as
out. You're
when
going
we
to
were
get the freshman
16.
15,
Yep. As
which
if
I
it's
did
a
get.
moral failing.
And I did freak out and I
I
did
freaked out
start
too.
exercising more.
I freaked out. I didn't. I certainly. I will never say that I had a full on eating disorder, but I certainly had disordered eating. I would say very dangerous relationships with food, and, go through periods of restriction and binge. And that was kind of because it was really posed as like a moral failing. Like, look at these girls going off. They're out of control. They're drinking. And I was not a drinker in college. That certainly was not where my calories were coming from. And I don't even think my diet changed that much. I think it's just a biological thing that
But you're 6 foot.
I
You're
am.
you're built differently than the typical woman.
Hmm.
So you are also dealing with you're so much taller than most women, and you're not teeny tiny rail thin.
No.
So
And even
not the
when,
model 6 foot.
no, and even when I was more of a stick, um, I didn't like myself then either because I didn't have any boobs. I didn't have any shape. I didn't have and so it was, yeah, it really did a number on me.
Wow.
And there are so many different content creators that are exploring this now on social media, kind of talking about what the media did to us in the 90s and the 2000s. I mean, I really hate this term, but it was called heroin chic. Do you remember that? Where the Kate Mosses of the world were just these absolute rail thin um, women who were not allowed to take in calories, who were not allowed to gain any weight, and that when they're put on the cover of the magazine as like the ideal, that really messes with your head.
Yeah, and they're airbrushed to look perfect. They don't look as good as they do on those covers or in the
Mm-mm.
movies or whatever. That's something that has definitely messed with my head because growing up, it's just I'm never good enough. I'm
Yeah,
never skinny enough, or I don't have the right shape. In and I, looking back, sort of looked like the people that they want you to look like.
yeah,
Looking back, I've been told I look like a Barbie. In my head, no, I don't. I'm
yeah,
a size 8, 10, 12, whatever. I fluctuate all around. I'm never a 0 or a 2 or whatever you're supposed to be. So sometimes people would comment, like, I should be so happy with my body. And I'm just constantly thinking, I'm not good enough. I'm not
yeah,
good enough. I'm not good enough. And so I'm like, oh, I think I need to let people know that growing up, because of the stigma, because of the pictures, the magazine covers, the skinny, skinny women that are being celebrated for being skinny, I'm just like, I'm not good
yeah.
enough.
And I want to put up, can I put up this picture of you, Sarah?
Yes, which
With
one are
your
you putting up?
baby? The
Yes, let's talk about that for a
holding the
minute.
baby?
So this is the skinniest I've been as an adult. This is when I got divorced. Micah, my 15-year-old, was 2 at the time. And I was told when I was going through the divorce, lucky me, I was going to be on a divorce diet. I'm so lucky. I'm going to lose weight. I'll lose my baby fat from
That is
having
such a
Micah.
trope, right? Like the
And
divorce
I was
diet or
like,
like revenge body.
and having severe anxiety and can't sleep and can barely eat because I'm so stressed with going through this divorce with a child, and we were amicably figuring out custody and everything. I was so stressed, I got down to 122. I'm 5'8".
I was going to say, and you need to say how you're also not a short person.
I'm
So,
5'8".
yeah.
I used to be taller. I don't know how tall I was then. So I weigh between 150 and 160 now. I've been told by my doctor that's a healthy weight for me. So I try to stay between 150 and 160. This is me at 122. I've
Yeah.
lost muscle. I have lost
Yes.
muscle here.
You can see it in your arms compared to how your arms
I
look like
have barely
now.
any boobs. You can see ribs.
Mm.
And in my brain, I still wasn't skinny enough. I'm going on the divorce diet. This is great. I had to have a man, a teacher friend, pull me aside and say, "You've lost too much weight. You need to stop what you're doing. You're losing muscle." And then he
Yep.
would bring me a snack at school, and that snapped me out of it. My mom
Hmm.
was worried about me being too skinny. I didn't listen to her.
No.
But most people just told me I looked great. I was on the divorce diet. So I'm thankful for the people that did say Sarah, because when I looked in the mirror, I still saw I could lose more.
Yep. I could lose more.
And
I
now I look at me and I'm like, I can't believe I did that to myself. Like I can't believe I got like my neck and my face it
mhm.
looks different than I look now. So yeah, thanks for putting that up. This
That's Well, and to think of how you look at yourself versus how somebody else looks at yourself. And there were probably so many people who saw you at this time period and were so envious
Oh,
and
yeah.
wanted to be you. And that is where the complete disassociation between outward physical appearance and mental anguish, we completely separate it. I remember there's a beautiful documentary that aired on PBS many years ago about people who were pursuing assisted dying. They were, terminal people who were choosing to end their life, people with ALS, people with terminal cancer. And this woman who had been dealing with terminal cancer for a couple of years obviously had lost a ton of weight. And she said, it's the hardest thing for me when I go to the grocery and run into an old friend and they tell me how great I look because I'm so thin. And she said, I kick myself for every single time in my life I have ever said that to someone. I have ever looked at someone's body in the grocery or out at the park and said, "Oh my gosh, you're so thin. You look so great." She said, "We have to stop saying that to people because we have no idea why they have lost
Some
weight.
of them are thin because they're sick.
They're sick. And you obviously were ill
I
and
was
you
having extreme anxiety and going through so much judgment from being a young mom divorcing the dad. Like the amount of judgment I got during
Oh
that
yeah.
time period was insane. I don't think I've ever been so judged in my life. And they didn't know what was going on with
Mm-mm.
my personal life and why I was choosing to divorce. And, uh, and I needed help.
Yep.
And I didn't know the term anxiety. I didn't know back then. This was 2012ish. I didn't know anxiety until later on, that I just again, divorce diet, lucky me.
Yeah. And that's my sister went through something similar when she got divorced. And I remember I was going to meet her somewhere and she she called me and she said, "I'm sorry, I have to stop at Panera. I saw myself in the mirror this morning and I said go eat a damn bagel." So she went through something similar and it was the outward reflection of what was happening internally. It was an extreme period of emotional and mental distress that you could see outward. And for her to get praised
Yeah, I got
like
a lot of
that,
praise.
yeah, there was some diet challenge like happening at her work at the time that she was not participating in, but people thought that she was, and they were praising her. And that's really, really that what that does to your head.
Yeah, the amount of praise I get when I look like I've lost weight is hard. It's hard today. I still have it happen. Like I lost weight during the election because I was so stressed out and I got complimented by people that care about me that I look good. And I would say to them, because I full on realized, I would say it's political anxiety. And they go,
Yeah.
"Well, you look great."
Like, well, I
I'm
feel
like, "No, I'm
terrible,
I'm
so thank
struggling.
you.
I'm struggling right now,
Yeah.
but at least I look good."
So what do we value, right? What do we value?
Yeah,
And
shouldn't we need to value this. What can I do to help you? And that's why I started the I need to be 150 to 160 rule. I started that a couple years ago. And once I
mhm,
get under 150 because of stress, I eat a little bit more and try to and then I try to calm down the anxiety. I know how to calm down anxiety now. I didn't know
mhm.
it back then. I had no idea what to do to calm that down.
No, I didn't either. And spending most of my life being uh, ADHD and not diagnosed and not really knowing what that was, but understanding now as I'm older and have gone through therapy and have done a lot of work on this, understanding that that manifests itself in a bunch of different ways for me. Impulsivity, really a lack of self-control. And being scatterbrained, I was just talking about this with girlfriends over the weekend that I will forget to eat, and it never leads to me losing any weight because I will then panic because I will be starving at 7 o'clock at night and then I will eat 3 days worth of calories in 3 hours. um
You're so funny. I never ever forget to eat.
I
I
forget to
will
eat all the
bring
time.
food with me so that because I'm like, oh, that hunger. So you and I are totally different on that. I don't go hungry.
I have reminders set in my phone
There you go.
for to remember to eat. And I was just thinking about this the other day when I was making myself a lunch and I had some leftover taco meat. And I have this thing now because I'm in my 40s. I can't tolerate gluten and as well anymore.
Aw.
It sucks. And I
They
love
changed
bread.
they changed the way they make gluten, like, a few years ago, and that's why some
Maybe
people can't
that's
handle
why.
gluten as much.
It's like it
I can't rem
messes
I
with
don't
me.
Yeah, I don't know the exact science, but they changed the way gluten is processed, and it's not processed as well as it used to be, and that led to a bunch of people not being able to have glucose, like, so or not glucose, what am I saying?
Gluten.
Gluten.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have yeah, so
That's
it's
interesting. I wanna dig into that a little
there's
bit and
research on it. Yeah, I
yeah.
looked into it because my aunt, who I just saw this weekend, I haven't seen her in a while, she had it and she never had it before. And all of a sudden, as an adult, and it was when the change happened.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so it could also be your body changing as you get
Yeah.
older, but it could also be that too. It could be both. And I know there's a lot of judgment people have towards people that say because it's like people just like to judge other people, but
They
I'm
do,
like,
especially women around food, like, the judgment is so easy to come
it's so,
by.
and it's just so much easier to judge them than to care about them.
And I do a lot of corn stuff, so I'll do corn tortillas, corn chips. I have some gluten-free bread that I bust out every once in a while when I I definitely go, and maybe somebody can relate to this. I definitely go through periods where I'm like, if I don't have a piece of peanut butter toast, I might pass away. So, I need like the crunchy toast and like the peanut butter. So I have like gluten-free bread that I just keep in the freezer and we'll bust out because that stuff's expensive. It's like
Is it?
$7 for a
Oh
little
my
loaf.
gosh.
Yeah. Even at Aldi, and I'm an Aldi shopper. That was like $7 at an Aldi.
Wow.
So it's just like one slice every once in a while. But I had some leftover taco meat from the night before, and I was going to do it over corn chips and do like a little nacho thing. And then I thought, actually, I have a really busy afternoon. I I kind of need to fill myself up a little more. So I've got my protein, and what I decided to do was throw some frozen hash browns in the air fryer. And so I made like a potato bed and put the taco meat on top of it. And to think about just a few years ago that I would have been terrified of potatoes because they are carby and they are starchy,
Oh.
right? When potatoes have so many nutritional benefits, there are so many vitamins in potatoes. They are so good for you. And yet, diet culture has told us carbs are bad. So because carbs are bad, we don't eat potatoes. It's a freaking vegetable, y'all. It's good for you. And what potatoes do, and I was really so proud of myself because I made a conscious choice to do the protein and veggies over potatoes because I knew it was going to keep me full for longer. And I needed something to keep me full for a little longer because I had a really busy afternoon. And
Yeah.
so to make that conscious decision to know that the potatoes is going to fill me up for longer than the tortilla chips, and any caloric fear that I would have had about potatoes didn't exist anymore because I now understand that if I had gone for the chips or I had gone for lettuce because I wanted a taco salad, I would have been hungrier sooner and most likely would have eaten more calories than were in the freaking potatoes in the first place.
So if you're listening to this and you're like, wow, I can't believe everything that's going through Corinne's head at her food choices, this is what we do to ourselves. We do this. And you're telling us a good thing. You're learning to eat better to keep yourself full longer. And that's smart. You're right. If you eat a salad, you're going to be hungry faster. I am too. Most of us, a lot of us, the things that go on in our brain to decide what we're eating, it's something a lot of us don't admit, but I do it. I'm very aware of what am I putting on my sandwich? How much am I eating? Is it gonna, and I'm weighing myself every day, and it's not that I don't eat yummy food that's not great for me. I do that all the time, but I'm very aware if I do it in this meal, I'm not going to do it in this meal or this meal or this meal. I'm only going to do it a couple times a week or something. Like just the calculations that we're putting in our head to keep ourselves the weight we want to be so that we don't feel bad about
Yeah.
ourselves. And
And
it's
you just touched on something. You weigh yourself every day?
I weigh myself every day. And I
That
do that.
sounds like a nightmare.
No, I do that to calm myself down.
Okay, so this is interesting. I do not weigh myself, only at the doctor, um, because the number does such a mess to my head. But my doctor told me the same thing. She actually encouraged me to start weighing myself more often and just let it be a data point. Like, don't
Yeah,
let it mean anything.
right.
And
Right.
so I will get to that point someday. Um,
You're
but
beautiful.
I
You're
thank you,
beautiful.
as are you. And
Thank you.
you put your weight out there, I'm gonna put my weight out there too. I am 220 pounds. And
What? Yeah,
yeah,
because 'cause you're so tall. That's amazing. You are
and
so badass.
I am I'm also very muscly. I'm very
Yes.
strong.
Yeah.
So I do
We're
lift
not doing an
weights.
arm wrestling competition.
Oh no,
I know who's gonna win.
I would kick your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I talked about my sister earlier. My sister's also the same size as me, and she and I have very similar workout routines. And every couple of years, we will arm wrestle. She hasn't beat me yet. Maybe the day will come.
Ooh.
Maybe the day will come. But I'm very muscly, and even though I
Yeah.
got a good amount of fat on the
You're like
outside,
this
for warmth.
strong goddess that as I see. Just like if I was scared of somebody, I would run behind you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll protect you. It's fine.
You know?
I'm bigger
Yeah.
than most men.
I could probably outrun them.
Oh, you could outrun them. Yep, and you could definitely outrun me, but if they catch us, then that's where I come in. I and that so that's the other piece of this that has always been really difficult for me because when I say I don't know if you saw this, Sarah, but our dear President Donald Trump had his physical a few months ago, and he is just in impeccable health. I mean, wow. Apparently, according to his physical, he is 6'3" and 225 pounds. There is no way in the world that is true. But aside from that, what I thought was apparent in that report going out and the way that the White House pushed out the press release was how important it is for people to believe that that is what he weighs. And so I actually did a social media video and I stood full body in front of the camera and
Oh,
I
I
said,
did see this one.
yeah. And I said, President Trump, you have inspired me. This is 220 pounds. And the reason I did that, and I got so many comments from people who were shocked
Yeah, because most women
because
don't say how much they
they
weigh.
don't say how much they weigh. And we have a connotation of what 200 pounds means for some reason when you have no idea, again, on social media, you have no idea how tall I am. You have no idea. And I wear a size 12, 14, depending on the brand of the pants.
And
Because
I'm
women's,
about a 8'10". I wear a
yeah.
size about 8'10".
And so I have, even as I've gotten more muscly over the years, because I continue to lift weights. So I am building some muscle. I keep building muscle because that's really important for us as we get older,
Especially as
y'all.
you get older. Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
got it. We got to keep up that muscle and our bone density and our joints, but
And our balance.
balance everything. Um and so the fact that I have maintained, even when I have gone smaller in clothes, my weight has stayed pretty much the
Because
same
you're getting more
because
muscle.
muscle are the and so the fact that that shocked people really really told me how much we need to talk about the number on the scale and how meaningless it is
And
for many people.
and like it's become a political issue a little bit too, and I think that's not good. It's never good when health becomes political. It's gone too far, and I don't want to say this in the wrong way, where it's just like we should accept all body types and we should never be judgmental. But we should also be like you should be mentally fit and you should be physically fit. Whatever that looks like for you, you do you. There's no judgment there.
Mhm.
I think when we go so far as the you do, it's such a complicated issue. Like I don't even know how to say it right. But what do I want from everybody? I want everybody to be mentally healthy and physically healthy so that you live a long and happy life.
Mhm.
And in our society, bad for you food is cheaper. It's easier to eat the bad for you food, which I would say the bad for you food's expensive now too, honestly.
Yep.
Um, but it's easier to not take care of your weight because you have to take time to work out or to buy the foods that are better for you. It's more expensive if you're getting stuff that's less processed. It's a whole complicated thing.
Yep.
And I'm spending a lot of time thinking about it because I'm privileged and I can.
And
You
you can
know,
make different yeah, and you can make different food choices and learn how to, learn you have the time to experiment. Yeah.
I just care about the moms in my neighborhood that are too busy and they're doing too many things and they don't take time for their health. And it's
Mhm.
like, well, how can they? They're working multiple jobs, or they're working in homeschooling, or they're doing all of these things. How can they?
Mhm.
And that's what I don't like. I wish culturally it were more appropriate for women, especially mothers, to take time for their bodies, their mental health, their physical health. I just wish that that was culturally more of a thing.
And when we look at, really how many hours people are working now compared to over, maybe in the late 90s, 80s, people are working more hours, people have multiple jobs. Our kids are busier than ever. Our kids are scheduled out the wazoo with all of their activities. So yeah, to find time to and I one of the phrases that I hate is like everybody has 24 hours in a day, like make time.
I
I
hate
ha-
that too.
I hate that, right?
No,
That is
don't be
putting so
judging me
much
of my
judgment.
time. Yeah,
Exactly.
so judgy, judgy.
And also like to not realize the benefit of an extra hour of sleep
Right.
over time, that's going to do wonders for your mental health as well. So
Girl,
yeah, you could get up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym, but you could also get another hour and a half of sleep and probably eat better for the rest of that day because your brain is more rested.
and I just admitted this on an episode last week with Ellen Kelly, who's a retired therapist, where I said I used to be addicted to working out. So I used to work out every day, no matter what, and I would sacrifice sleep. So I would get up at 3:30 in the morning to fit a workout in. And I don't do that anymore. I still work out 7 days a week if I can fit it in. I still do. But I don't work out when I'm sick. And I used to work out when I was sick. And I don't get up. I make sure I get enough sleep. So full on admitting, "Oh, I was addicted to the endorphins of working out." It was something I had to have, but whenever I was pregnant with, my twins, which were triplets, and baby Arwen died at week 29, um,
Baby Arwen, that's the cutest name.
I know it was 3 A's, Arwen, Asher, Adeline.
Adeline. I feel like
Yes.
Arwen would have like that is the name of like a deep sea explorer. And I don't know why. We live in
But
Indiana. We don't really have deep
But I
seas around here,
couldn't
but
I couldn't work out. I had to take as few steps as possible, and my feet would balloon out, and I couldn't walk anymore. Like, I try to get under 4,000 steps a day as opposed to my, like, 17 to 20,000 steps I'd normally get a day, and
uh,
I learned mentally how to survive that. So I think after that, I figured out I don't have to have exercise to be mentally fit. Go ahead and show that
I was gonna
picture.
say, this is you
This is
pregnant.
the day before I had an emergency C-section. I gained 75 pounds because I read a book about triplets by doctors on what to do so your babies won't be low birth weight. And it said to eat
Oh,
often and eat a lot of protein. So I, on purpose, gained as much weight as I could.
okay.
And and I was eating for triplets, which one didn't make it, so it ended up being twins. But I gained at least 75 pounds. I stopped paying attention at the end. It was very hard. And
Yeah.
look at my face. Like, my face changed, my nose
Yep.
is giant. Like, and I just want everybody to know, 10 months after I had the twins, I lost all of the weight, but my stomach was damaged. I was 39, I think, maybe 40 by that time. And no, 38, 39. I can't do math. Anyway. Anyway, my stomach was completely destroyed. There was nothing I could do, and I had this giant amount of fat and skin. So I had a tummy tuck 10 months after, right when I stopped breastfeeding over the
Mhm.
summer so I could go back to teaching. Um, so just so you know, I didn't lose that stomach on my own.
Yep. I'm
Because
so glad you're talking about that. Like
yeah,
that is
I just
there
don't want people to think that I can look like that and look like I do now without
and it's
actual
yeah.
something happening. Yeah.
And I really love your honesty about that, Sarah, because we are in a very new world of weight loss now. These miracle drugs have come on the
Oh,
market,
yeah, I wanted to, what are they called? What is it called?
like they're like GLP-1s, like Ozempics,
Ozempic.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there are a bunch of other variations of GLP-1s that are either orals or injectables, and they are really honestly, we have to be really honest about it. They are saving people's lives.
Yeah, but
And
what is hard for me is it's saving people that can afford it. And I'm glad they're doing it. There's no judgment there. I'm meeting people and I'm like, they'll say they lost weight and some of them will say, "Well, I lost weight because I'm taking that drug like Ozempic." It's like
mhm.
another form of it. And I'm happy for them, but I just wish everybody had access to it because I have
And
friends.
now, yeah, I think that because the market is expanding a little bit, I know there are lots of these drugs that are being covered under regular copays now.
That's good. So
So
more
there are
people
some
should be
people
able
that
to,
are
because at
paying,
first the rich people get it, but
yes,
now you're saying regular people should be able to get it more.
a lot of it because it's just expanding a little bit.
And all the
Um,
research, at first we were like, this is going to mess you up. This is going to do terrible things to you. But it's really, we haven't really seen a lot of negatives.
some people do experience side effects. I've known different people in my life who have taken it because they are diabetics, not specifically for. I mean, they have lost weight on it, but that wasn't their goal. It was to control diabetes or some diabetic issues or complications, and they've experienced side effects. Some people do, some people don't. But what I've seen, what we're also seeing is then it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. The stigma is there, whether you choose to lose weight, choose to not lose weight, how you choose to lose it, how you
Yeah,
could,
it's just so much judgment about
so
your own
much.
body, and it's
And
their body.
yeah,
Like,
and it's like, what do you want me to do? I thought society wanted me to lose weight.
and
And but what's the right way? What is the right way? Like there is no right
there
way.
is no right way. They're going to judge you no matter what you do. So they're going to
Yeah.
judge people that take Ozempic. They're going to judge people for not taking it. It's just, if we could just stop judging people for how they look. So me being this heavy, I couldn't lay flat on my back at night. I couldn't breathe. So
Yep.
I would go from one side and then go to the other side and then be
Mhm.
able to breathe. And then it was so hard to walk. It was so hard to do anything. That really gave me a lot more empathy for people that suffer with weight,
Yep.
that way too much. I am just like, your day-to-day life is so much harder. And even if when I was losing that weight, because after I had the twins, I looked terrible. I should have pulled up a picture. I guess I shouldn't call myself looking terrible, but once I had the twins, I looked like I was 9 months pregnant with one baby
Yep.
for a long time. And I got asked when I was due a lot. And I would just say, actually, I just had twins. It was triplets, but one didn't make it. And I just had twins and I gained this much weight so they wouldn't be low birth. Like I take the time to tell them.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, oh, because I wasn't going to stand there and let them just say that to me. And
Mhm.
I wasn't going to, they weren't saying it to me to be mean.
Yeah.
Most of them, they just wanted to know when I was going to have the baby. And so I explained to them, just side note, don't talk about a person's weight, or if they don't talk about their weight or ask if they're pregnant, let them bring it up.
Don't ever. Like
Don't
is
talk
I
about
think
somebody's
that
weight
is
unless
something that we've
it's your best friend and you talk about it every day or something.
of all of the things that we have that may feel culturally that have gotten worse over the last several years. I think that's one thing that universally we are kind of all getting on board for.
Yeah, we're figuring it
That
out. But
that
I
is
just had
changing.
I mean, this was 6 years ago
Yeah,
and I got it all the time.
all the
So
time.
yeah.
Yep.
So, but just having empathy for people, it's so easy to gain weight because that's like, when we were first human beings, we were scavenging and doing everything we can, and we're told to eat as much as possible so that we
Mhm.
don't die and starve. And so we really have to work for it, and to just have empathy and to realize their life is harder
Yep.
because they have all this extra weight, and to care about them. It's easier to judge. Caring hurts, but I know that I have a lot more empathy because I was that big, and life
Yep.
was very hard for me. The only thing I could do, my mom stepped in. My mom did so much to help me. The only thing I still did was I still made pancakes for my son, and I sat down in a chair over the oven,
Yeah. And made
over the
pancakes.
stove and did it.
That
Yeah,
was your
so
exercise. You're like, this arm is gonna be ripped. I'm flipping
life was
spatula.
so hard.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's really, I mean, the learning how to be empathetic and learning how to, as a society, stop making a moral judgment on thinness or being overweight, or there is no morality tied to it, right?
No.
There is no moral failing. There is no failing of character. There is no moral greatness that is tied to thinness. And the fact that we do not understand, we don't have a full appreciation of genetics. We don't have a full appreciation of environment, and all of the things that play into what you look like. I mean, if you really dive into your family tree and you see where your people originated from, if you're originating from cold places, you are getting more fat on your body to keep yourself warm. It's easier for you to do. If you are, originating from a people who were laborers, who were farmers, who were working outside, you have broader shoulders, you have thicker legs, there are so many genetic elements that come into this. And I wanted to touch on BMI for a moment, because
And that's body mass
body
index.
mass index, I believe I was a freshman in high school. And Gavin is trying to give me a prop behind me here. This is my youngest child. It's
I want to
not
meet.
it's not on the, there we go.
There we go.
I like it.
There's our
Thanks.
pride flag. Happy Pride to all
Happy
who are
Pride. Love is
listening.
love. Be you.
Love
We
is
love you.
love. But it is raining and it's super windy outside, so I brought it in because
Cute.
it's like it blew off of the porch yesterday. But what?
It's not good lighting.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's fine. It's
Sorry.
fine.
Apologies for the interruption. That is my youngest. But BMI it's a calculator, and it takes your height and your weight, and then it gives you a number. And I believe I was a freshman in high school the first time I was told my BMI. When I was a freshman in high school, I was probably 5'10-ish, 5'11. I grew a little bit more throughout high school. I weighed about 150 pounds. So I was a very, very thin.
I was going to say, that sounds very skinny.
Yep. BMI, maybe at 160. BMI, I was in the overweight category.
What?
It was horrifying for me. When I do my BMI now, I am obese.
What?
And yes. And and there is such a huge racial element to this too. BMI for Black women, especially Black women, is horrific, because Black women also tend to be more muscular and more dense, muscly than other races. And because BMI does not account for how much of your body is fat and how much of it is lean muscle mass, it's just giving you a number. So I want to pull up this picture of me. This is 2010.
Aww.
This is me with my oldest child, who just graduated from high school yesterday.
Congratulations.
He is 18 years old, and he now towers over me by about 4 inches. But I didn't wear a bathing suit because I thought I was too overweight.
Aww.
Yeah. I still have these shorts, these green and white shorts. I still have them. I still wear them. They look exactly the same on me. I am about 25 pounds heavier than I was in this picture, but I still wear the same size clothing. And because I have gained muscle, I have and my clothes haven't changed. So I pull up this picture to say, not only is there so much going on in my brain here where I didn't think I was allowed to wear a swimsuit because I thought I was too big. Again, everybody's allowed to wear a swimsuit. There is no like
Everybody can wear a
permission,
swimsuit.
right? But because I still have the same clothes and I still wear the same size clothes, that is it. All of that is just has been adjusted over the last, so this is 2010, over the last 15 years, based on how my body has changed and how much muscle I have gained. And when you look at something like BMI, it does not equate for any of that. And so somebody who is more muscular,
they need to fix that. And they need
so
because my husband, he gets rated as overweight with the BMI, too much fat. If you look at him, you're like, no, he doesn't.
no.
And so it's wrong for him. And he's a more typical person. Like he's not like super tall like you are,
Yep.
like Phew, so
And
yeah,
it's
that think how many people have been traumatized by BMI.
so BMI is a terrorist. Like yes, the amount of emotional trauma that has been inflicted because of stupid BMI. I think the reason BMI is so pervasive is because anybody can do it. The only information you need a calculator and you just need your height and your weight. So it's just two metrics. So on its surface, we should understand that when you are trying to measure somebody's health and you are only using two metrics, height and weight, it's not going to be accurate. We are all so much more complicated than that. So it's a flawed model on its surface.
Yeah, so
Um,
disregard that and learn
disregard
about your
BMI.
own body. Learn about
Yes.
your own body.
And there are
Yeah.
so many other calculators that you can do. You can do like a waist to height ratio that will kind of give you more proportion and give you a little bit of indication about how big your waist is in comparison to the rest of your body. Again, that's not perfect, but it's a different metric. And then anything that you want to do beyond that requires some tools.
But
And
but also your body, you have a preferred weight. Like I'm pretty sure what I am right now is my preferred weight. I could get down to 122 if I wanted to be hungry a lot. And
yes,
but I'm choosing to eat. So I could look like that version of me that I got to and I don't want to. So our bodies have a preferred weight and we just need to try to figure out what that is and maintain it in a healthy way, which is hard every day. Every
it's
day is
super
hard.
hard. And if
Yeah.
you can't, fine.
Yeah.
Like,
We have to like give ourselves grace.
yep.
I just had thyroid surgery. I lost half my thyroid and I'm having to take medicine to regulate. And it is harder for me to maintain my weight than it used to be. I used to have an overactive thyroid, so it was very easy for me to lose weight. And how hard that has been on me mentally, I don't even want to admit on this show.
Mm. I,
Like,
it's that's a lot. And you are, I mean, the thyroid struggle is so real. So real. All of that adjustment to
and
medication
it takes a long time. Like, it's going to take maybe a year or two to figure out the amount of dosage because I'm taking a medicine every day for the rest of my life. Now I take it in the morning and I have to wait an hour, half an hour to an hour to eat. And and I can tell it's messing with my mood and stuff. Like it's so weird, the thyroid and hormones. And so I'm trying to give myself grace while also trying to not freak out that it's harder for me to be the weight I want. And like I'm just trying to be honest with everybody. I, I every day am focusing on my weight, but at the same time, I'm eating lots of delicious food and I'm
yep.
exercising. But I'm calculating how much can I go out to eat and should I get a salad with grilled chicken or should I get something a fried chimichanga? And sometimes I get the fried chimichanga and sometimes I get the salad. Like it's an everyday thing. I'm
And
like,
and that like training is so baked in to your brain. And please know that you're gorgeous and
you're
your
too.
health, your mental health and your physical health is not reflected on the outside. Like not always. And the damage that we do to ourselves when we deprive ourselves of nutrients, when we deprive ourselves of, I think of all these different times in my life where my skin was terrible, my hair was terrible, but my nails were so brittle they were breaking, but I was thin. And I put so much value on the thinness when obviously my body was devoid of nutrients because I
Right.
looked awful.
So we've
Um,
got to look at all of the signs, which I would look at you now and say you're very healthy because you radiate the health. You eat pretty well. You're eat I think we probably eat similar, except
yep.
you can go a long time without eating. I don't do that.
I
You
don't do
know,
that anymore. I
but
try
you
to,
can kind of tell because you can look at the skin, look
yep,
at the hair, look at the face. Do you glowing or do you look set? You can kind of tell.
yep.
But I don't know whether everybody's doing that. We're just using one metric. How skinny are you?
How
So I want
skinny
to
are
talk
you?
about. I was watching an outtake of like a deleted scene of Crazy Rich Asians. The book turned into a movie.
Mhm.
And in the deleted scene, it was a bachelor party and a rich person on a boat. And they were zooming in on these teeny tiny skinny girls that had shoes on and they were in bikinis and they were dancing on the stairs. And this is a deleted scene. And I saw cellulite on their legs. And I was like, I didn't think that was possible because my whole life I've seen images of really skinny people in bikinis on TV and on movies and on videos, and they don't have cellulite. And then that's when I hit me. If this would have been in the movie, they would have airbrushed it out or
Yeah.
something. They would have done something to it.
To make
And
it
then I'm
not,
like,
yeah.
it doesn't matter how skinny you are. Some people have cellulite on their legs. That was a mind-boggling moment for me
Yeah.
because that's an area I'm critical of myself, my legs.
Mhm.
And I'm like, so really skinny model people have it? Wait a minute. What am I trying to do to my body?
Yeah.
I'm trying to reach something that's not possible. Like that.
No.
I I mean it that really just like changed the way I view bodies. Like because I have been lied to my whole life looking at TV and seeing skinny people look perfect.
Uh-huh.
Even skinny people,
We've been lied to the whole
we've
time.
been lied to
It's
the
all
whole
lies.
time. What the crap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a para Olympian who talks very openly on social media about her journey of getting her leg amputated, and she makes a lot of jokes about it. And one of her jokes was just like, "Ugh, I could never get rid of the cellulite, so I just got rid of my leg." And it was like, it's really funny because like that's literally what it would take if you don't want the cellulite. Like, and she was like a peak athlete in top performance, like, and she still had cellulite, and she's like, "Well, just
We
had to
are
get rid of my
so
leg."
lied
Like,
to about
we are so lied to.
what we're supposed to reach, what women are supposed to reach to be the perfect woman is not attainable, and we have just been so lied to. I like the actress Emma Thompson, is that her name? Or
Mhm.
Thomas? Thompson?
Thompson.
Yes. So she is in her 60s now, I think, and she's done a lot to talk about women and body image. And she's like, she said sometime she was sitting down in an interview of a talk show and she said, how many times do women look at themselves naked in the mirror and they just zoom in on their problems? Oh, I hate this thing. I hate this thing. Look at this and look at, oh, and she's like, we have got to stop doing that to ourselves. We need to
Mhm.
say, look at this beautiful body that has been through so much and we need to appreciate. And you shared with me that you do something
I do
that I think is
that.
beautiful that's similar to that. And
Yep.
I once you told me what you do, Corinne, I started doing it too. So
Yep.
tell us what you do because I think it's beautiful.
I've been doing this for a few years. It was something that my therapist encouraged me to do,
Good
and
job.
I saw, yes, because I was really really struggling, and we first logically talked through all of the things that my body can do and how much weight I can lift, how far I can walk, the children that I have given birth to, the all of the things that I'm physically capable of doing, which it dawned on me probably for the first time going through that like we actually wrote a list out. And it dawned on me for the first time going through that process what an amazing privilege I have of really being a healthy, able-bodied person for my
Same.
whole life. Like,
Same.
that's a privilege.
Yeah.
And to thank myself for being able to do all of those things. So every single day when I get ready, I stand in the mirror with no clothes on, and I thank my body. And I make a mind body connection. I put my hands on things. I put my hands up, on my arms. I don't like the way they look, on my stomach, on my hips, whatever it is. And I put my hands there and I just thank myself. And I don't make it about appearance. It's not, it's for me, it's not about needing it to be beautiful. There's no, the beautiful part of it is not, I've learned how much the beautiful part is not relevant. That's not important. Beautiful is wanting to be perceived a certain way by somebody else.
Right.
For me, I'm showing appreciation to my body for its functionality and what it is able to do, and the sacrifices and the wear and tear that I have put on my body. I mean, I started playing sports when I was a very, very, very little child. And so there has been a lifetime of wear and tear and injury. And I've got all the scars to prove it. And all of the things that I have put my body through, including some very unhealthy things. I had a years long struggle with alcohol abuse and taking in all of this dangerous stuff. I used to smoke, Sarah.
Oh my gosh.
I
I'm so
smoked for
proud of you
years.
for
So
overcoming these
all of the
hard things.
crap that I put in my body that honestly was coming a lot from a place of mental anguish. I didn't know I was self-medicating, so I was putting things in my body to make myself feel better. And so when I stand in the mirror in 2025 and I thank my body for what it does, it completely has changed my perspective, completely changed my perspective. And it doesn't mean I don't have moments of putting on a certain outfit and not liking how it looks, or catching myself in a picture and not being crazy about how I look in the photo. I still have those moments too. But overall, my appreciation and my relationship to physical movement, whatever that may be, whether it is an intentional workout of lifting weights, whether it's just going for a walk, whether it is doing yard work, my relationship to physical activity has just changed into being grateful that I'm able to do it,
Yeah,
and
I like
grateful that
that.
my body
I think
has
that's really
remained
healthy.
resilient. Yeah.
I'm trying to do that. I'm a lot kinder to myself. I've said this a gazillion times since I had suicidal thoughts a year ago, and then I got therapy. And the one thing that helped me recover from the depression and the suicidal thoughts was I was able to be in a fashion show. And oh, I sent you a picture, but I don't think you have it up. I don't know if you can find it. If you want to look for it for a minute, I sent it to you. And I think I emailed it to you too, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, I was able to do a fashion show because the Harrison County Arts was doing a fundraiser, and it was a fashion show fundraiser, and they needed one extra model. And I had went ahead and asked and said I'd be a model, but I asked too late. But they saw that I'd asked on Instagram, so they reached out 2 days before the fashion show and asked me if I could come in the next day for a fitting and then do the fashion show on the Saturday. And I was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I would never have asked before the suicidal thoughts. I kind of got braver. And I was like, this is great because it's normal people getting to be in a fashion show. I had some of my friends were in it the year before. This was the second time they were doing it. And so I knew it was normal people, and I am a normal person. And I was like, this is great. I can act like a model. I know I'm not, but I can act like one. So I get there, and I'm with everybody, and I get several people saying, "Oh, thank God you actually look like a model." And I'm like, "No, wait. The amazing thing about this is that it's regular people being models." And then I'm like, "Oh no, culture, society." And I'm like, I wanted to say, "Don't think that I think I'm a model. I don't think I'm a model. I'm a size 8 or 10. I'm not 02 or whatever." But I was learning to be kinder to myself, so I didn't say that. So I'm like, "Well, how do I process it? I don't want to be negative on myself and say I don't think I look like a model. That's not being nice to myself." And so like it really made me think because it was just a mind. It's like the thing that's amazing about this show is you can be a normal person. If you can't find it, it's fine. Corinne, oh, I can't
I
even
have it
say
saved and I don't know why it's
it's
not
okay.
giving me the
We might need to
option.
take one down. We might have too many pictures up. We
I
might need to
don't
close one.
know. Maybe.
Let me close this one. Well, I don't know how to close it. Never mind. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's the picture. So the runway picture of me was the picture that I used to advertise this episode on Facebook. So some of you saw it. And now I'm friends with Georgianne Watson, who made that outfit, and she's making me a new outfit. You all, she spent 160 hours making an outfit that I'm going to wear this Saturday for the third fashion show. So this time I
That's
didn't
so
wear.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited, but you know what? I sometimes I feel I would like to be skinnier in the outfit because this outfit is form fitting. The other outfit was loose. And so again, I'm struggling, you all. Um, I'm going to go out there and be as kind to my body as possible and have an amazing time. But it's a struggle because I look at myself in pictures in it and I'm like, I wish I was skinnier. So I'm still working on it, you all. I'm not 100% there.
There it
Yeah.
is.
So
There
that's
it
the
is.
outfit. Georgian Watson made that. And I wore that last year. They fixed my hair, they fixed my makeup. I got flowers and put it in my hair. And it was one of the best things I ever did in my life, like for me. Like like my husband came, he took pictures and video, and so many of my friends are with Harrison County Arts, so it's a really beautiful thing. So I'm doing that again this Saturday. It's a fundraiser for the Harrison County Arts, which is a beautiful um it's a beautiful shop. Local artists they work there for free. They sell their art there. It's an amazing thing. But I'm still struggling with the body issues because it's weird I don't want to be like, I think I'm a model, but then I don't want to be unkind to myself. So I don't
Mhm.
say it. It's the whole thing, you know?
I'm going to put in the comments here, if anybody is interested, I'm going to stick in the comments really quick, the website for Harrison County Arts.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's such
I'll
a beautiful place.
I'll put it
Thanks,
up on the
Corinne.
screen here as well. It's very easy to find, harrisoncountyarts.org, if anybody is in the area and wants to support artists in your community and go see Sarah look amazing in an amazing dress this weekend. I'm so excited for you.
Thanks, girl. I'm
It's going to
excited
be
too.
so fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I wanted to put up this last picture of
I just wish
me. Oh,
I wish every person could get to be a model in a fashion show
yes,
and
I'm
feel
like
good about their
empowering, right?
body and walk and show off an outfit that they're proud to wear and be like, "Don't I look amazing?" and like love yourself. It was exactly what I needed last year after I was having the hardest mental thing I'd ever gone through in my life. It was the thing I needed to heal myself, like, it really helped me get better faster, to just be like, "I'll never be that cruel to myself and let people hurt me like they hurt me," and I learned and I was like, I cared about my body, and I was like, you know, so I wish everybody got to do what I'm getting to do. Have a person that loves me. Georgian Watson now is a close friend of mine, I love her so much, she loves me so much, and to have someone that loves me make an outfit for me,
Hmm.
I wish you got to do that, Corinne.
I mean, and the I mean the number of hours that she put into the outfit, and
160.
that, yeah, mind blowing. And like her contribution, her personal skill and talent and passion is art. And so she's creating art that you are wearing and
And
then
she's gonna be
supporting the art.
70 in a
It's
couple
ugh,
weeks, and she said this is her birthday present. She said me getting to wear it and walk down is her birthday. Like, it does her good, and I'm
yeah.
like, "But you're doing me good." So we're both helping each other, and she's made me 2 outfits already that for political events that I've worn, and I just don't know how lucky I got to be so lucky that I get to be her friend, and I'll get to see her on Saturday, and I've been to her house many times while I get to try on the outfit, and I just wish everybody got to do something like that,
Hmm.
like and how important art is to
Yes.
people for their own mental health. This helps her. She's always wanted to make this creation, and it's strapless, and it's made out of denim, and it wraps in the front and then comes down,
Oh,
and
I
then I wear
can't
a
wait to see
skirt.
this. Sarah has sent me pictures of different like stages in the process. I cannot wait to see
So
the whole
come
thing.
if you can, but if you can't come, my husband is gonna make us a Project Next show about this fashion show.
So
So you guys can see.
harrisoncountyarts.org, y'all. You need to get tickets to this.
And
This
then it'll
is
be up on their
Saturday.
website that day. They'll post they're on Instagram and Facebook. But you can see everybody's outfits. They'll have a photographer there, but Chris is going to take he's going to take footage and he's going to edit together the show. So it'll be a little bit later because my husband will edit it, but I'm probably gonna do a couple lives too, like getting fancied up and stuff. So Project Next is gonna be part of this. We already did one interview about it with my good friend Amanda Ramos. She is the president of the board that runs this nonprofit. Like, so it's pretty amazing. It's
That's
almost there's only one person that's paid a part-time salary. Everybody else does it for free. This Harrison County
volunteer.
Arts. Yeah, isn't that
That's
beautiful?
beautiful. I love that. So the link is here. It's in the chat. It's in the comments. It's also here on the screen. So harrisoncountyarts.org. I want to put this picture back up, Sarah, because if we just zeroed in on your face, like there is so much joy
Oh,
and
yeah.
peace on
I'm
your
like almost
face.
crying right now because
Yeah.
that was such an emotional time for me because I was coming out of that dark time.
And how much does that face look different than this face? Like the these are the moments that you look at photos and you realize it has nothing to do with the size of my pants. This has
Right.
nothing to do with the number on a scale. Where I am in my own brain is visible. Like it's visible. And the stress that you were under in this photo when you were physically not doing well and mentally not doing well, it
Right.
just boom, look at that. Like it's incredible. And even like we talked about hair, like look how much healthier your hair is in this picture, your skin in this picture. Like those are the things that cannot be measured in on a scale with a measuring tape in the dressing room. And those are the moments that I hope people take away and to look at these photos and not harken back to what you used to be. I definitely spent a lot of time, especially after I had kids and my body changed and looked differently, of looking back at photos when I was younger and wishing for that time. And that was so harmful too, because it's a wish that can never come true. We cannot time travel, yeah, that we know of. And even if I could, I would never want to go back and be that person, even if I was thinner. I don't care. I
Yeah.
honestly can say that I don't
It's
care.
it's not about thin, it's about us being healthy versions of ourselves, and
Mm-hmm.
we only ourselves can figure out what that is, because at the doctors, they might tell you the wrong thing. They might give you a BMI that's completely wrong for your own body.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you need to do to have that glow, to, for you to be mentally and physically healthy?
And
And
and to find the right healthcare provider, I do have a doctor that is working with me on my weight and also my blood pressure, and is very receptive to me and is looking at all of these metrics, making sure that my vitamin levels are okay, my nutrients are okay, my blood pressure is okay. It's so much more than weight. And there have been some changes in recent years to insurance and what insurance will cover. And so if you are somebody that is more curious about your relationship with your body, that may not always be your primary care physician. That could be a mental health professional. That could also be somebody who is a dietitian, somebody who has
yeah, there are
training.
dietitians out there that are really, yeah, you don't wanna do anything that's, diet culture. That's all bad.
No.
That's all just to make money and hurt your body.
Yep.
So
But
not diet
talking with
culture.
somebody who is a
Yes.
professional, who has
Right.
training in nutrition and can help you meet your goals and can help talk through about what you're eating and make your goals so much more about what's on the scale, that is something that's opened up more in recent years. So I would encourage people to look into that as well, because what you're going to see sometimes, and I still hear from so many people that they go to the doctor and they injured their knee and the answer is lose weight. It's not
Oh, it's so upsetting.
right? It's not like, "Oh, let's see if you did something to your knee here." It's like, "Well, you didn't have that. If you didn't have that 30 pounds on you, your knee probably wouldn't hurt." Like, how messed up is that? Like,
And
not
it's our culture.
everything.
Not
Yes, not
everything is about weight.
no.
And, like,
No.
with women, not everything is about your period, and, like, if you can have kids or not. That's always really, like, extra important, and I'm
Yep.
like, "Is it?"
Like, so your knee hurts? Is that because you're about to start your period? Like, no, it's because my knee hurts. It's not because I'm
Are
fat
you
and I'm about to start
moody?
my
Because you're
period.
yeah.
No,
It's
my
like,
knee
"No, I'm
hurts.
moody
Like,
because I'm going through a lot, and I'm really stressed out in my life, and I need some help."
like
There should
uh
probably be
not
yeah.
everything is weight, y'all.
If we
Um
just had empathy for ourselves and empathy for others, and we took out the judgment, think
yep.
how much better our society would be. If we could just, if I could wave my magic wand and just fix that, it would be just kind of ridiculous how much would change.
And how much would change if everybody was able to recognize that physical activity is more for our mental health
I do
than
it for
for
my
our
mental health.
physical
Yeah, yeah,
health,
yeah. Mhm.
and what that would do to, and whatever that joyful movement is, if it is line dancing, if it is pulling weeds, if it is playing in the park with your kids, it does not have to be a 2-hour grunting, sweating gym session
Yeah, what do
to
you
be
like?
worth it. I used to
Mhm.
play that game with myself all the time, was like, oh my god, well, I only have a half an hour, so I guess I might as well do nothing, instead of like, I only have a half an hour, so let me get in a 20-minute workout so I can jump in the shower. Let me do something to
You're
raise my
right.
heart rate and sweat for a few minutes. Like, it's like a
'Cause it
zero sum
the
game
mental the
sometimes.
mental benefits are so
Yes,
huge
it's going
from
to be
working out.
so much more
There are
important.
some people that don't get the endorphins that you get from working out, like that, and I feel really bad for those people because
Yep.
I get a lot of pleasure from working out.
And some
Um,
people do and some people don't. And
and
that's,
then also not everybody can work out,
yep.
like, and it's really hard on people. So again, don't judge the way people look. Not everybody can work out. and not everybody's bodies. Like a lot of times, if you're like going through some sort of cancer treatment or something, and it makes you retain fluid or whatever, it's just you don't know what that person is going through. So maybe don't comment on their size, and maybe just care about them.
Yeah.
It's harder than you think because
Yes.
we have been judged. You have been
Mhm.
judged. I have been judged. Our society, women, everybody is judged about their weight. It's such a giant thing. If we can stop the stigma and just care about people, which I think we are getting, but then we're also getting young women on Instagram, our teenage girls on Instagram getting very messed up by what the Instagram algorithm is promoting. So we get
Mhm.
both.
Yep.
It's like we are evolving and getting better. Like you're saying, there's a lot of content creators talking about it, and I think that's great. But then we still have the bad stuff. And they're all
Yeah.
think about how much money people make on the diet culture, the pills and the stuff like that. And there's really a lot of bad things out there that hurt your body.
And the idea, and we're seeing it, a lot come from the administration that is in DC right now, where everything is about anti-science and kind of pro this health and wellness industry. And it's a zero-sum game to them. And because of how the human brain works, we want to believe what is good and what is bad. So if we are told the pharmaceutical industry is bad and the wellness industry is good, and the pharmaceutical industry just wants your money and the wellness industry wants you to be well, that is absolutely not true. And I shared this stat on our show, our new Project Next new weekly show, y'all, which is Who's Left This Week, hosted by Scott Aaron Rogers on Sunday mornings. We are live every Sunday morning at 10:30. He has 10:30 Eastern time. He has a rotating group of panelists. And one of my favorite stats that I shared over the weekend was that in 2023, the pharmaceutical industry was worth about $1.3 trillion. In 2023, the health and wellness industry was 6.6 trillion.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yep. So there
And
is
not saying there
money to
isn't
be
some, this is where it
made.
gets confusing. Some of those products might help you some, but a
Some of
lot,
them are
and
good, some
some
of
of
them
them
are
don't.
bad. So,
And
yep.
so it's not pharmaceuticals bad. No, some pharmaceuticals are bad and some are good. And wellness, some of that stuff is good and some of that stuff is bad. It's not, and so because it's not black and white issue, it's so much harder. But that is shocking.
But to
So many
say,
people are
like, to
profiting
say your doctor is telling you that they are sick so they can make money off of pharmaceuticals. So don't listen to your doctor, but hey, come listen to me and I have these supplements to sell you.
that are natural
That is quote unquote good and your
and
doctor
cost
is
a ton
bad.
of money.
Again, is exploiting our inability as humans to appreciate nuance and gray area.
Yeah.
And so I
And
mean
we're
I
just so desperate to be thinner. We're so
yep,
desperate. We think that's going to lead to happiness when it doesn't. If you're not happy, when your weight now, you're not going to be happy in your weight, you know. And so we're told these things and we're needing, and they're telling you, if you want us to not judge you, be skinnier. And so you're listening to the culture and being
yep.
like, well, I guess I better take this wellness product to make
Mhm.
me skinnier. And then they're just making money off of you. I mean,
6 trillion. 6 trillion, y'all.
that's
It's
so much money. I can't even
yep.
fathom it.
And it is. And yes, of course, the pharmaceutical industry, yes, they make money on us too. It's not, again, it's not an either or. It's not a black or white. It is just you have to always question the motives. Always question the motives. Who is there to make money? Who is there to exploit my lack of knowledge about nutrition and how food is made? And if you can exploit my lack of knowledge and tell me that I am fat because I shop at Walmart, then I need to go shop somewhere else and spend way more money, then somebody else again is profiting off of that. So it's if you can just focus on taking care of yourself and doing what is best for yourself by whatever your means and capabilities and schedule allows, then all of us could be so much kinder and more compassionate.
Anybody that's listening to this, I want you to give yourself like 10 compliments. I want you to give yourself 10 things that you love about yourself. And they can be anything, but include some of them your appearance, and do what Corinne does and what I'm trying to do. Um, we're not supposed to look perfect. It's unattainable and it's unrealistic. And usually a good partner, if you have a partner, they love you, you know, and if they don't, they're telling you you should look a certain way. I'm not a big fan of that partner. And, just love yourself, you all. Love
Mhm.
yourself. And when you can love yourself better, it's easier for you to love others and accept others' things that you might be judgmental about before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But thanks for doing this with me. I feel like we
Yeah,
had a really good body therapy issue, like talk, you
and
know?
I mean, the fact that we are, in our 40s and have gone through such, really toxic environments around diet culture and fatness and again the moral attachment to all of these things, and we did all of that before social media. Like that was just like magazines at the grocery checkout that did
And
a number
now
on us.
it's hard. I feel like it's harder for women, especially women on social media, getting the feeds of the diet culture stuff. I
Mhm.
feel like it's even harder. So if you have a teenage daughter or whatever, just get their Instagram out and scroll through it and see what type of ads they're getting. Look
Yep,
and see what they're being fed because we know it's not just who you're following. They feed you stuff.
they give you stuff.
They
And
give you and just check and see what it is and just check and see where your kid's head is at. And it doesn't have to be a daughter. It affects guys too.
oh yeah.
See where their head is at with weight because even though you might be pretty body positive, the culture isn't that we're
No.
around.
And we all know, I mean, and that's been true since we were kids and before we were kids is your peers and society is always going to have a disproportionate influence on your children than their parents are.
Yeah, my
And
parents never once said anything negative about my weight. So
mhm,
all of this was nothing from my
it all
parents.
came from the outside. And I will say I had an opportunity to sit around and have a lunch when we were traveling for a percussion competition, sit around and have a lunch with with my sons and a bunch of their friends. And the conversation got there about eating and body, and to hear how this generation talks about it, they are so much more aware. They
That's good.
understand the damage that has been done. And the one thing that I always, if I ever have the opportunity to talk with people, it is every single one of us, we are supposed to continue to be different and look different out for our entire lives. It is such a unrealistic expectation that you are supposed to be mentally and emotionally and financially and everything. That's supposed to keep changing. You're supposed to keep getting better and everything, but physically you're supposed to stay the same. None of that makes any sense. And so when I was talking with these kids and they were kind of sharing their thoughts on things, and I was like, just remember, you are this time next year, you're going to look different than you do today. And that's supposed to happen. And the year after that, you're going to
That's
look differently. It's supposed to
such a
happen.
good tip. You're
It's
supposed to be gaining
everything.
weight. You're supposed to be changing. You're growing.
Yep. Just like you're getting an education, you're supposed to be smarter than a year from now than you are now. The same is true for your body. And so if that can just be, because that almost feels like you're just kind of going with the waves a little bit. Like if you're in the water, you're just going with the waves of your life and you should be
Let
changing.
let your
Yep.
body evolve. It's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Don't be scared of it. Don't have these unrealistic expectations on yourself. That's going to make you unhappy.
So unhappy. So
Yeah, that's
unhappy.
such a beautiful way to say it, Corinne. You're so wise, and I'm really blessed to be your friend. I
I
wish
am
we lived
too.
closer. Come and see me.
Yeah. Road trip.
Road trip, come and see me.
I'm so
Yes.
glad we got to do this. Thank you
You're
all for
gonna have
being
another
here.
show tomorrow. You're gonna
I'm
have your
gonna
own
do a
show
show
tomorrow,
tomorrow
7,
night. Yes, tomorrow evening,
Thursday,
Plots and Politics, 7 p.m.
June
Eastern,
5th.
June 5th. Plots and Politics, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I am gonna have a chat with the chief of the South Bend Police Department, Scott Ruskowski, and he has been in law enforcement a very long time. Has a lot of interesting perspectives working in a city inside the state of Indiana, and all that brings along with it. So yeah, check us out tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Tomorrow morning early, Tim is gonna do a Father Ted, Dr. Tim episode in the
Good.
morning, and I think he's gonna start posting Father Ted's homilies
Oh, that's
with the
good.
show.
Yeah.
So he types them up, so, like, put it on there, and they'll kinda talk about, what's going on. with religion and politics and morals and open that whole up. So that'll be in the morning, and then your show's gonna be in the evening. And then on Saturday, look for little bits of live stuff about the fashion show, and then there will be a fashion show later. And thanks for doing this. You're
This was
amazing.
fun. You are too. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'll see you
Thanks,
next time.
everybody. Thanks for sharing. Subscribe to YouTube, please.
Yes, go subscribe. Yes.
Thanks, guys. All right. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone. Is it still live?
Yes. Did you skid end it? Oh, I did.
No, I
I
was
was
waiting.